Hi guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Chancellor, the Fantasy Football Show. We bring you each and every week here on the Upper Tier Podcast on YouTube. Make sure and subscribe, like the video if possible, and keep watching all the great content that the boys are bringing you on a weekly basis. Going to go into my team now from last week. In goals, I had Steele, and he came up with 10 points last week. So I'm glad that he's seemingly going to be the Brighton goalkeeper going forward now. A very good price as well. So as you can see, he is only 3.9 million. That's the cheapest starting goalkeeper in the league. It was Danny Ward, obviously, but he's not in the team anymore for Leicester. So Espeton as well, 7 points. Sven Botman, 9 points after Newcastle's impressive victory against Manchester United at home last Sunday. Jan Bednack only got 1, unfortunately. Now, last week I did take a gamble on my triple captain on Mo Salah for the double round, and unfortunately it didn't pay the dividends that I wanted it to, because he didn't start the second game against Chelsea during the week. So as soon as I seen he wasn't starting that game, I knew the writing was on the wall. And he's a player that you'd expect to be playing week in, week out in every single game for Liverpool. So it was surprising. The gamble didn't really pay off, even though I had a good points tally last week. Alexis McAllister in the middle on 9, Martinelli popping up with another assist, and Bukayo Saka unfortunately drew a blank. And Andreas Pereira came in for me for Erling Haaland. I just like to keep Erling Haaland in the team, even though they say he's not playing. One of these days he will show up on the pitch, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that one. Harry Kane, of course, again coming up with trumps, as did Ivan Toney. As you can see, the bench there, there's nothing really to write home about there. So if we go into the leagues, I did go up a few places now last week in the upper tier. I'm up to 17 now. I think a few weeks ago I was looking at around 22. So that's a nice little jump for me in the last couple of weeks. Kirk Loco up on top there with 1,903, followed by Graham Ward, who's finally fallen to 1,894. So things are pretty tight up there in the top. And if you look into the middle where I am, then 1,677. Yeah, it's very close. 1,674 behind me. So it's going to be an interesting run in now in the last 9 games of the season. We still have all 42 players. That's what I want to check every time. So let's go into this week's team. So in goals, I'm going with Steele, Tottenham away. That's going to be a very interesting game, I think, with Brighton and Tottenham. I would expect there to be goals there, but could Steele pop up maybe with a potential penalty save or a couple of saves if Tottenham are unsung? We'll just have to wait and see. I have Alex Moreno as my captain. I'm going to be changing that now, actually. Let me see, who am I going to put as my captain? I think I'm going to put Harry Kane as my captain. Yeah, so Alex Moreno won't be my captain, so I'm going to go with him. He's been very impressive for Aston Villa since coming in, and in fairness, at a price of 4.4 million here for him as well, you can't really complain. The two men beside him, Espeton and Botman, have rarely let me down this season, both popping up with a lot of clean sheets. In the middle of the park, very interesting, because we have Martinelli, Saka, and Salah all playing the same game. 4:30 kickoff, Anfield, Sunday, Arsenal's biggest game of the season, I would say. It'll really test their title credentials at a venue that they haven't won in a very, very long time. Not sure off the top of my head, but I just remember having very sad times there in the last few years. Andreas Pereira, West Ham at home. Now and never for David Moyes. Apparently, if he doesn't win this, he is out the door. So that's going to be interesting. Up front, Erling Haaland. Now, it doesn't say that he's injured anymore. Maybe I'll have to switch my captain again. I've never done this during the show. Switch my captain once, twice. Harry Kane vice captain. Ivan Toney up front as well. If Brentford score, you'd fancy Toney to be on the score sheet. He doesn't seem to be letting all that off the field stuff affect his game. So on the bench then I have Ward. He's out of the team in Leicester now, unless the caretaker manager or whoever they have for this weekend decides to put him back in. I personally wouldn't. Alexis McAllister, kind of tough one leaving him on the bench, as is Ben White, but I think, for Arsenal to win at Anfield and keep a clean sheet might be a bit too much, you know. So I'm thinking, you know, if we can get any type of win at Anfield, I will take. But I can't see us keeping Liverpool out. And Bedronak on the bench, obviously, with Manchester City. Save your team. Your team has been saved. So that's what I am going with this week. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, share, get the guys up to 1,000, put a few quid in their back pockets, and I will see you next week.